It's wonderful to see so many folks here, already sitting, getting in the process of sitting, finding a seat. They're all good. They all cost the same. Nothing? It is wonderful to be here. As always, wonderful to bring in Shabbat with your friends, your family, with the people maybe you just met, to be joining us virtually as well. It's always so wonderful to be here. Yet again, another Shabbat. It's a chance to take a break, to take a breath, and let a little bit of shalom, a little bit of peace into our lives. We begin. Are you doing nigun? We begin with a nigun.
I ask you, please, everybody sing real loud. We're in a bigger sanctuary today, and we don't have our accompanist who unfortunately passed away due to COVID about a year or so ago. And he covered up a lot of my mistakes. So I'm asking you to please sing loud so you can cover up the mistakes I make too. Die, 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 die,
Please rise, turn to page 4 for the blessing over the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu, vitzivanu lehadlik ner. Vitzivanu, vitzivanu lehadlik ner. Vitzivanu, vitzivanu lehadlik ner. Shel Shabbat. Amen.
You may be seated. As we turn to page 5 and we welcome the Shabbat angels, Shalom Aleichem, page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, malachei ha-shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Bachuni l'shalom, malachei ha-shalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Tzedchem l'shalom malachei ha-shalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voices in song. Lechu neranana, page 11.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Nikadma Fanav Bitoda. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Bezmi Rok Naria Lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Ladonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar. Yismechu Hashemayim, page 14.
Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Umlo, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Umlo, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Umlo, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Yehiram Hayam, Umlo.
Come, my beloved, to welcome the bride. Let us greet Shabbat as she arrives. Lecha Dodi, page 23.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem el tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kumitzei mitocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet b'yemek habacha, V'hu yachamol alayechem la. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, Kiva orech kumiori, Uri, Shir Daberi, Kevod Adonai Olayech Nigla. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Bohui b'shalom ha'ateret bala, Gam b'simcha uv'tzohala, Toch emunei am segula, Boi kala, Boi kala. Lecha Dodi, Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and to sing your name most high. Tov lehodot, page 27.
Tov, tov, tov lehodot, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer, ulezamer, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov, tov, tov lehodot, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer, ulezamer, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chazdecha, ve'emunatcha b'halelot, alei asar, va'alei navel, alei higia b'chinor. Tov, tov, tov lehodot, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer, ulezamer, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov, tov, tov lehodot, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer, ulezamer, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov, tov lehodot, tov lehodot l'Adonai.
We take a moment even now, even as we're finally maybe relaxing after a very, I know, long week. We take a moment to think about the others in our community whose hearts are heavy right now, those who are feeling the pain of loss of somebody very close to them, those who are in mourning. And to you, we say, may God comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. If you are observing a yard site or if you are currently in mourning, you can turn to page 30 and rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divrach yirotei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon u'b'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei kudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiram me'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. I invite everyone now to rise to turn to page 39 for the Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
And you may be seated as we turn to page 40 for Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha havta, Amcha havta. Torah u'mitzvot, u'kimu mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokfeinu uvkumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam v'oed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem negeyom avalaylo, negeyom avalaylo. V'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olam. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Amen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvorim oile asher anochi mitzavacha hayom alevovecha v'shinantam levonecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha habevetecha u'v'lechtecha havaderech u'v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha u'kashatam liyot al yodecha v'hayu l'totofot b'neinecha Ukatavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
We continue silently with the paragraphs on page 42.
Adonai Elohechem emet, emet.
Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness, revered in praise, working wonders? Michamocha, page 44.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, oh seifele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, oh seifele. Malchutcha rovanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe, Zeli, Zeli, anu v'yameru. Malchutcha rovanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe, Zeli, Zeli, anu v'yameru. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, oh seifele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora, nora, nora tehilot, oh seifele. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh no ra, no ra, no ra tehilot. Oh, Seifele, oh, Seifele, oh, Seifele.
Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Hashkivenu, page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. O frost aleinu sukat shlomecha, O shmor tzeitenu uvoenu. O frost aleinu sukat shlomecha, ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Vishamru, page 46.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidoratam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidoratam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat lidoratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat lidoratam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinofash, Shabbat vayinofash, Shabbat vayinofash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat lidoratam berit olam.
We rise in the middle of the page with the Chassid Kaddish.
Yit gadal ve'yit kadash shemei Rabba, amen. Be'yalma divrach erutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chay dechal beit Yisrael, ba'agalav izman kariv ve'yimaru, amen. Ba'agalav izman kariv ve'yimaru, amen, amen. Yesh me rabba mevarach, le'olam ulam me'omaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpar ve'yitromam, ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar, ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol bechata, ve'shirata, tushbechata ve'nechemata, da amiran biyama, ve'yimaru amen, ve'yimaru amen, ve'yimaru amen, ve'yimaru amen, amen.
We turn now to page 47 for the Amidah. For Friday night, it's all silent, all by yourself, so you can say the words on the page, you can say the words in your heart, you can even say both. Page 47 through 52.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'yeinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol עת uv'chol sha'ar b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai Hamevarech et amo Yisrael Bashalom. Oseh shalom, Oseh shalom bimromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, shalom aleinu, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom, Oseh shalom bimromav. Uyaseh shalom aleinu, shalom aleinu, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Amen. Amen.
We remain standing because we get to say a Mishaberach for the Cholim, a prayer for those who are in need of healing. So if there's anyone you know of in your life, Jewish or not Jewish, who's in need of some healing, whether that's healing in their body or their mind, their soul, their spirit, as we say the words, I want you to hold that name in your heart real tight, because I think in some way they know. The Mishaberach is the inside back cover of your Siddur.
Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing for us and all of those we love. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
God and God of our ancestors, bring a speedy and complete healing to all of those in our congregational family who are ill. Bring strength to them and an end to any kind of pain or suffering that they may be in. Bring strength and wisdom, God, to their doctors, their nurses, and everyone who cares for them, because when they feel stronger and wiser, the ones we love feel better faster. And also, God, bring strength to the people in this room and everybody who's praying for somebody tonight, because when we feel stronger, the ones we love feel stronger as well. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated, page 54, Kaddish Shalom.
Yitkaral v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yom adirachi rutei, v'yom lich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yom echonu v'chayedach al Beit Yisrael, b'agolav v'zman karehi v'meru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, li'olam olam me'omaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudishah b'richu li'elah min kol birkata v'shirata u'shbegata v'nekamata amiran b'alma v'meru, Amen. Hitkabal tzalot tahonu v'ot tahonu kol Yisrael kadam avahoni v'shemaya v'meru, Amen. Yehi shlom rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru, Amen. Oh, seh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemeru. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. You ever have one of those weeks? I have. Oh, just stay here anyway. I would tell you to take out a coin, but one, it's Shabbat, and two, does anyone even carry cash anymore? No. But even if it's been a long time since you've seen coins, you know that there is some pretty famous Latin on there. E pluribus unum, out of many, one, which ties itself into the name of our country. Why did we title ourselves the United States of America? Because before we thought of ourselves as one country, more succinctly, we really were a collection of states, or before 1776, a collection of colonies. Our currency carries a reminder that we are one country, a collection, many states, many people. And that's the beauty of the phrase, in fact, is that it works in both directions. We are one nation of many people, and we are many people united as one nation. Now, completely coincidentally, you can't make this stuff up, I'm not like trying to rabbi it in there, but it's in the Parsha this week. It really is. I'm not trying to like shove it in, it really is. Here's how. Moses knows that the time of his leadership of the Israelites is coming to an end. It happens. And he has some concerns because he knows that there needs to be a new leader. There needs to be a new leader for the people going forward. And he has some concerns for this new leader. He is concerned that this leader does not, and I'm quoting Rabbi Bradley Artson, does not impose a bland homogeneity on all. That's his concern, that this new leader won't understand these Jewish people, these many, many Jewish people. So Moses does what I think is a very intelligent course of action. Moses talks to God. But Moses doesn't just go, hey, God, because they're not that close. Moses says, Elohei ruchot l'chol basar, which means, O God, source of the breaths of all flesh, which, trust me, it's just as awkward in Hebrew as it is in English. Source of the breaths of all flesh. It just seems unnecessarily awkward. Shouldn't it just be source of the breath of all flesh? That makes more sense, Moses. Why do you got to go the really awkward route? Our ancient rabbis explain in the Midrash, because they don't believe there's ever a coincidence, ever, or a typo, or anything. They say that just like a crowd of people may all look alike, that's a superficial understanding. A crowd is not one being that breathes with one breath, but many. Their faces are not identical. Neither are their temperaments, the rabbis say, and so Moses has had this concern that whoever led the Israelites next, they would need to know, they need to understand and love each individual person for who they were as individuals. And so when Moses spoke to God from this place of this anxiety that he had, he used this awkward plural to refer to God, breaths of all flesh. I kind of get it on the crowd thing, though, and maybe it's just because of what I do as a job. Not last year, but the year before, previous high holidays. I have been blessed to stand right up here, right there sometimes, and see thousands of faces before me. And every year, people ask, would you get up there and you speak? Wow, how do you do that? I don't know how you do that, Rabbi. You get up there and you talk in front of so many people. I would be petrified. And I usually say something to the effect of, well, it's basically a sea of faces, which it is, actually. But when I say that, it's a sea of faces, I feel like that doesn't really encompass what I mean, really, when I say that. Because what I love about standing here, especially standing here when I get to look out and see 50 or 100 or 1,000 or 3,000, Kol Nidre, 3,000 faces, I'm actually trying very hard. I'm making a very concerted effort not to see a sea of faces. I really am trying, and it takes a lot of effort, to see each individual face. I'm scanning when I'm up here to look into thousands of eyes, because I know and I love that there are so many people here, so very many Jews, and those who love us, each with their own strengths and weaknesses and likes and dislikes and passions and preferences and dreams, and we're all here together. One. So very many of us. The beauty of it, of that duality. As Jews, we hold that tension very handily. I think we're good at it, the unity and the diversity. And as Americans, that is our goal. It's our birthright. It's on our money, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. A saying that is true in both directions, an aspiration. That we are many in this country. We are many religions and races and genders and sexualities and ethnicities, and some of us were born here, and some of us chose, and some of us had that choice made for them. And whenever, like Moses had that worry, any one person or group of people are not seen and appreciated and protected from those who think their one way is the only way, when a rabbi is attacked outside his synagogue as one of the many examples for how Americans are attacked, even these days, for their religion or their race or whatever it is that makes us beautiful in God's eyes, when those things happen, they are the most un-American actions. Because e pluribus unum, out of many, one. We are one nation, struggling at times with our composite parts, but struggling for unity, to stand as one people, Americans. In the United States, the greatest experiment in self-governance that the world has ever known, trying to be a promise and a haven for people regardless of what others may oppress them for. America tries to be a place that lets them live in peace. It's why my great-grandparents came here. That's why a lot of you and maybe your grandparents came here too. I am proud of our fledgling nation celebrating 245 years on Sunday. We're a young pup as far as countries go. Are we perfect? Is any country perfect? Besides, perfect is not what we expect. We strive for perfect. As Jews, we always reach toward perfection with the knowledge that it is ultimately unattainable, but also with the knowledge that the struggle for perfection is what makes you good. We Americans have set for ourselves a tall order with biblical roots, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. To be a single nation, united, under a common flag, common currency, common set of values, that is also made up of more races, more religions, more ethnicities, more genders and sexualities and histories and social strata than any other nation on earth. We are many, as God is many. And that is what makes this great American experiment so beautiful. We have achieved much these past 245 years, and as long as we try to honor the multitude in the unity and bring unity to the multitude, we know that we can only get closer to that great vision of America that all of us deserve. Shabbat Shalom, and a very happy 4th of July. One person didn't like it, but otherwise, that was okay. We can please turn back in your Siddur to page 56 and rise for the Aleinu. Even you.
Aleinu l'shabeach madon hakol, lo tet gedulam liatzer bereshit, שלא עשנו כגויהו ארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגברי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וחשיבותו אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתוך הדיינות. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. The entire Beth Yeshurun family extends its condolences to the families of Beatrice Lewis, Donald Plotkin, Michael Pasternak, and of course our thoughts are with the victims and their families of the building collapse in Surfside, Florida, especially the families of Michael Altman and Manuel Lafond. If you are currently in mourning or if you are observing a yahrzeit, you may turn to page 58, Rise, for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kirotei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'byomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. And may all our loved ones' memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. We have some anniversaries and only a few announcements, so don't worry. First up, with a mere 20 years, I see you, I know you're here. Celebrating 20 beautiful years together, Ricey and Brian Goldfarb. You have to stand up so we can clap for you. I know you're here. Brian is starting his 13th this year bar mitzvah year at the Medical Center of Houston, so that's mazel tov, and is happy that he has not diagnosed a COVID case in almost 2 months. So wow, it's amazing. Yeah. Ricey has enjoyed seeing her business, Mommy Mixology, grow over the last year. It's a great business. We worked with him. Your oldest child, Sam, has been traveling Israel on the Kehila High trip, returns June 4th, coming up. He'll then go back to summer camp at Camp Interlaken, while his sisters Josie and Lila head back to CYJ in just a few weeks. Hi, guys. And while the kids are occupied, you will be escaping to cooler temperatures in Iceland, hiking volcanoes and glaciers. Just some of your many adventures I know you've had together the past 20 years, and God willing, many, many more to come, with only lots of health and happiness for you and your whole family. Mazal tov, 20 years to Ricey and Brian. Yeah, now you can sit down. And joining us online, so they don't have to stand up, are Barbara and Leonard Roth, 49 years. Mazel tov. or here, I don't know. I would never know which one it is. You are both fully vaccinated by February, and you are able to be with your grandson and his parents in North Carolina in person by March, and again in June 21st to 28th. So only a little taster of the time I know you'll be able to spend with your families and other loved ones. And so God willing, many more years of seeing your family in person, being with them and celebrating only joyous occasions. Mazel tov on 49 beautiful years, Barbara and Leonard. And just a few, this is the upside of coming to services in the summer, very few announcements, so smart. We want to be sure, no, I'll start at the top, Philip, don't get mad. Our hearts are still in Miami this Shabbat as we pray for those affected by the tragedy at the Chaplain Tower South in Surfside, Florida, in the early mornings of Thursday, June 24th, last week. Many in our Houston community and in our synagogue community have friends and loved ones in the area, and our entire community sends its refuah shlema to all who are suffering. To continue to support the needs and recovery of those affected, please, we do ask that you consider, after Shabbat, a donation to the Greater Miami Jewish Federation Emergency Assistance Fund. They are doing a lot of on-the-ground work with families, those who are still waiting for word of their loved ones, those who have heard back word of their loved ones, and providing all sorts of services on the ground. You can find the link on our Facebook page or on the Facebook page and website of our Jewish Federation of Greater Houston if you'd like to donate to those efforts. We want to be sure that you've seen our announcement that for the upcoming High Holy Days, that we will be in person. That's the plan, and that's very exciting. Beginning in July, you'll start getting information by email and snail mail. For all people in good standing, we'll be getting their tickets mailed out to them, so we hope to see many of you at High Holidays, but of course also during the summer if you're comfortable and you'd like to. We look forward to welcoming you here and definitely back in September for the High Holy Days. Registration continues for Religious School Sulam Kehila High for students entering pre-K through 12th grade. We're a full-service synagogue, so we got you just covered the whole way through. Tuition rates do increase yesterday, but talk to us. So basically, you should get your registration in. That should really be happening. Cheryl's giving me a dirty look from somewhere. So you should definitely complete your registration online. If you have any questions, please contact the Religious School office. Information can also be found on our website. 100 Jewish Men is doing the annual honey fundraiser, and it is underway. Order your jar of 8 ounces of delicious kosher honey for yourself, or I have this in good authority because I've gotten them as a gift. They make wonderful gifts for your family and friends. Each jar is just $13. That includes shipping within the United States. If you order by July 7th, that is coming up. Honey orders after July 7th have to pay a late fee to cover the first-class postage. So, High Holidays are early this year, so start ordering that honey early. You can find the order link on our homepage. I want to give a huge thank you and a yashar koach to Joe Kirk for leading us in our singing so beautifully in our prayers. It's wonderful to stand up here with you again. Always a pleasure. And thank you to all of you for joining us online, who I know you do, and for coming in person. It makes my Shabbat so much more warm to see so many beautiful faces here and to know that, there's other people out there living in the world with you, and everyone's doing their best, and it's just nice to see y'all's faces. So thank you for coming out. We will continue with whatever's next. I know we have a child here because we're buddies now. But if you're here with any of your children, regardless how old your children are, we'll have a quick blessing of the children before the kiddush. So we'll start with our daughters. So if you are here with a daughter, no matter how old your daughter is, you can put a hand on their head or just think about them if they're not here. So over all of our girls, we say, Yesimech Elohim Kesarah, Rivka Rachel V'Leah. May God bless you and make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And if you are here with your son, no matter how old your son is, or maybe your son who's here with his son, etc., for all of our boys, put a hand on their head or just think about them, hold them in your heart. We'll say, Yesimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraimechem Menashe. May God bless you and make you like Ephraim and Menashe. And over all of our children, say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God give you the blessings God gives all of the divine children, especially that of shalom, peace. And let us all say, Amen. Amen to peace. Please rise, page 55 for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho, v'yahava v'ratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lemahaseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra kodesh, zechel etziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kadshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Adon Olam Asher Malach Terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Li'et Naso B'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Imloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Over V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Ham Shelo Le'ach B'hira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit V'lo Hoz V'hamisra V'lo Hoz V'hamisra V'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzur Chevli V'yetzara V'hu Nisi Umanosli Menad Kosi V'yomekra Menad Kosi V'yomekra V'yado Afkid Ruchi V'yetishan V'yaira V'yim Ruchi Geviyati Adonai Li V'lo ira Adonai Li V'lo ira.